Yeah, glitch the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no brakes. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gone. You get in this place. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy. When it's sick of me, I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, info cups of Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through on transparency. Heard they self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Butcher boys, E&E, you in trouble, kid. Add first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Flow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side bad jacks, I took more than measure. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, knows the gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane non-stop. The little J gon' take over with my time stop.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be party. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Get her ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chick. Something about the VVS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
I already know, man. Hey, man, say, man. Hey, man, say, man. Was Hunter. You did. Hey, man. Say, man. What's happening? Monique Robinson, what's up with you, up, boy? You already know, man, this is your brother and your brother, man, Virgil Berry, man. Stacks with the facts. And we back. Tapped in, tuned in, you did. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here. And I want to say shout out to my brother Red, man, my brother King Supreme Now TV. You know what I'm talking about? Because being a real one, I'm not afraid or ashamed to say where I get inspiration from. And listening to my brother's show the other day, I heard a lady say, or a guy talk about this subject, and he said this term right here: anti-Black racism in post-colonial Latin culture. Hold on real quick. Let me make a correction real quick. I just noticed something, and me being the type of guy that I am, I have to correct this ASAP. You hear me? Like right now. And that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, though, man. And so I was thinking to myself, like, hold on, man. I was thinking to myself, right? I was thinking to myself, like, hold on, that sounds kind of catchphrasey a little bit, you know? That sounds kind of sounds like something I need to look into, you know? It's not that I didn't know or wasn't prior to privy to the knowledge of it being such a thing, but I didn't know that it was an exact term for it, though. Right? So I began looking into this, right? And this is why I said the things I said on my brother's show, man. You know, and this is why I be saying the things I say when y'all so-called, and I do say so-called Latinos come into the conversation, speaking on whatever y'all speaking on from whatever, especially historical basis. Like, it's kind of like, and like I said, I don't just automatically assume that people are stupid or dumb. You know, I know that there is an intellectual class amongst even the so-called bourgeoisie of us peoples across the world, right? And it ain't no short or less with y'all Latinos. I know some very intelligent Latino, so-called Latino people who identify themselves with the term Latino, Latina, Latins, whatever. I know some real intelligent y'all amongst y'all who have very good critical thinking skills and can connect dots and all of that stuff, and can use deductive reasoning and all of that stuff, you know, process of elimination. I'm pretty sure it's quite a few amongst y'all who can do that. And the very fact that I know that and that y'all don't show that, it just proves, or should I say, shines lights on how much y'all have adopted the mind frame of the so-called colonizers y'all think y'all be like exposing or talking about or whatever, whenever y'all talk about whatever y'all talking about amongst y'all, you know, whatever y'all talk about concerning y'all so-called oppressors, y'all so-called colonizers, right? And this is like amongst what I've noticed amongst so-called Latinos or people who consider themselves to be Hispanic or from a Hispanic country, right? And it's like y'all have a severe case of Stockholm syndrome with y'all's oppressors or y'all's so-called oppressors. And what's good with you, Big E? Listen here, man. And I've been on this for some years even before. I don't want to like say that I'm saying I'm nothing, because I'm not. What I'm saying is, I for myself individually, as a man and as a content creator, in my lane of content creator, I've been speaking on this for quite some time. What I mean by that is we need to be focusing on us and fixing our household, amongst us, uniting, collaborating, interacting, integrating, doing business with, you know what I'm saying, all topics. I've been advocating for that since basically I've been home. And I've been home going on 9+ years. You did. So it's just a beautiful thing to see the rest of my brothers finally getting on one accord with if nothing else, just having that thought in their mind, like, okay, we need to at least be in the mind frame of thinking about getting on code with our brothers in the process of actually physically, in other ways, getting on code with each other. You did. And I'm glad I'm starting to see that, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Right. And as I always say, when I'm talking about such things, y'all see how other groups respond, react as a result. But it's a good thing because these people are showing their true colors, which means that we're giving us all the more reason to not link up with them, not interact with them, not do no business with them outside of what we collectively decide would be beneficial for us as a whole to do. That's the one accord I'm talking about. Yeah, that too. And I'm glad you said that, Big E. Right? Organized with no exact structure. It's just a collective agreement amongst us, right? Ain't no leaders, ain't no hierarchy of leadership. There's no founder, president, nothing. Nah. It's just a universal code amongst us FBAs that we agree into, and that we will adjust accordingly as needed, right? Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, man. But I was looking into this anti-Black racism in post-colonial Latino culture, right? And I've been telling y'all that these people have been psychologically, politically, mind screwed with this ideology. Right now, y'all got to understand that when the people from World War II got scattered all across the world as a result of what happened with the Nazi regime, most of them went to Central and Southern America, where the tactics continue, where they still linked up with elements of our government. Even to this day, organizations came out of that are functioning to this day, and these people have been indoctrinated with the same psychological weapons that everyone else around the world has. And part of that is anti-Black racism, anti-Black ideologies, right? You see it all throughout Central and Southern America. The Latin Blacks aren't shown on TV. They're not in politics. They're not the ones in power. They've been marginalized, in fact, enslaved. Right? We're not seeing millions of Black Latinos coming up here. You want to know why? Because they're too poor to make the trip. It would be better if they just stayed where they're at. Right? Notice that, man. They're not representing in media, sports, entertainment. You watch Telemundo, you ain't gonna see no Black Latinos, man. Very few, if any at all. Right? And the reason why is because they have been ingrained psychologically, perceptually, culturally with this anti-Black race. So y'all hear me speak about this all the time. I call it was liberation theology, right? Liberation theology was started in Mother Russia, right? With Stalin, right? And they had a strict anti-Black policy in there because the people who infiltrated Russia from the Black folks that was running Russia, right? They sit up there and, infiltrate it and do what they've been doing through history, right? And this is where the genesis of this anti-Black theology ideology, right? Structure of thinking that could, how could I say, socially engineer the minds of a people, right? And it started mostly in Russia, right? And it grew and prospered, and then it was spread throughout Europe, right? And here we have it to this day, or up until recent times, this communistic mindset. And don't make no mistake about it, communism is anti-Black theology and ideology. And this is where this stuff derived from. So when all these people who infiltrated themselves in the Russian governments, the Russian royal families, the German families, the British family, all throughout Europe, right? They spread this ideology, right? Because like I'll tell y'all all the time, Black people weren't just in Africa, and all Black people don't come from Africa. Black people literally are all over this planet. Africa, Al-Keelan just happens to be where the largest concentration of Black people are. That's not the origination nor the where everyone stems from. I think that's something that people get confused. We're not saying that because, believe it or not, in Africa, the oldest group of Black humans still exist to this day, and those are the Zulus, right? But not only do not all Black people come from Africa, all Black people absolutely did not stem from the Zulu tribe. I think that's something a lot of y'all need to get under control and really get an understanding of, that melanated people are all over the planet Earth, right? And the oldest ones, unfortunately, don't reside in Al-Keelan, right? Some of them over here in our area, right? So, I mean, I think that's something that everybody should go on their own personal journey and do your own due diligence on that to find out for yourself, right? But as far as the origin and the genesis of anti-Black racist theology and ideology, it stems from communism, right? That's where it comes from. And it spread all throughout Europe due to the fact that these people, right, we're going to call most of them what they are. We're going to talk, y'all hear me talk about them, the Khazarians. They have an anti-Black thing, and it goes back to to topics that most people don't even want to touch on. And we ain't going to touch on because that's not what the show is about today. But in order to get an understanding of where this anti-Black racist theology and ideology come from, we got to, I'm talking about, do a little bit of, I'm talking about foundation so y'all can get an understanding of where we at today. You understand what I'm saying? Anti-Black theology and ideology stems from communistic, Kabbalistic ideology. And like I say, it goes a little deep, and that's another topic for another day, but just understand that this anti-Black thing goes a little bit deeper than just not liking us melanated people on the earth, right? But in order to get an understanding of where we are today, we got to understand where it stems from. And when it's extended to the Nazi regime too, don't get it twisted. Communistic ideologies were right along with the Nazi party. They basically were the same people, right? And then when y'all heard about Project Paperclip and all that, all these Nazi regime scientists and operatives and high ranks up in the orchestra in the structure, they got all banished all across the world. Most of them in Central and South America, where they continued their demonic practices and where they instilled the South American and Central American people with with Latin liberation theology, right? They were taught communistic theology rooted ideologies, right, which were chock filled with anti-Black sentiments, right, within them. look at South American and Central American countries, all of them. They all got black people, like I said, black people all over the world. They was Central and South America, and they weren't all brought there during the slave trade. Most of the black people in Central and South America were already there when the Spaniards and the Portuguese and whoever else started coming through, right? So, you know what I'm saying? When we talking about this subject, man, we got to get honest. And y'all Latinos, man, I be saying like y'all don't talk about y'all's history. That's why I say shout out to all the Latinos, right, who are having the testicular and ovarian fortitude to sit up there and talk about this subject, man. Because y'all don't talk about this. You don't hear none of these dudes. You don't hear Sonny, American Cholo. You don't hear Hadel's World. You don't hear Dubs. You don't hear none of these guys who have platforms speaking on the anti-black racism in their post-colonial culture. You don't hear these guys talking about this. They try to, and I hate using this word, but just for what it is, they try to gaslight us, man. And I think gaslight is just a new way of saying insulting our intelligence, right? But even though I'm not going to insult the intelligence of the mass collective of so-called Latinos, there is a large portion y'all I do think it's just stupid, and y'all don't know y'all's research, let alone y'all don't do your research. Y'all don't even be on y'all's own history, right? So I would challenge the intellectuals, right? I want to challenge the intellectuals of you so-called Latinos to start speaking up and being honest. Because if I know this stuff and many of my brethren and sisters know this stuff, there's no way y'all don't know it. You can't use the excuse of, oh, we wasn't taught this or we didn't know. I mean, we got the internet. Y'all know just like we do. If not more, y'all should. It's y'all's culture. Y'all was raised with this in y'all's household, in y'all's neighborhoods, where y'all are from, even in our country and where y'all countries of origin, where y'all come from. Some of us have traveled to Central and South America. We see how our fellow Black Latino brothers and sisters have been treated and how they live in y'all's countries. They're not the cream of the crop. They don't get no representation in government, in media, in entertainment, or anything else. They have their struggles. Y'all section them off in certain areas of the city, just like here, right? So when it comes to this situation, man, I think it behooves us FBAs to do our actual due diligence and research into where this mindset comes from and stems from. And when you do that, you get a better over, inner, outer, extra standing of why these people operate the way they do, and it will lead you to the outstanding understanding, overstanding that we at a time right now where we just can't collab with these people, especially if it's not a significant amount of them who ain't willing to speak out and be honest about the anti-black racism that is literally ingrained into the fabric, freaking fibers of their psyche and culture. As I said, we ain't, like we always say, we ain't gonna be honest about what we're talking about. It ain't no point in talking about it, right? Which means it ain't gonna be no point in interacting or engaging in anything outside that, because everything starts with a conversation. And if we can't even have a conversation and be honest with y'all so-called Latinos, man, about this topic and this situation, then we might as well just do what we've been doing, like we've been delineating from our other Black people, and just stop. Don't mess with y'all either. And that means gatekeeping our culture and not allowing y'all to do it. Meaning y'all can make y'all's music if y'all want, but we ain't stamping it. We ain't supporting it. And we need to start getting some of our big boy artists, man, to get on the code with this. You know what I'm talking about? Some of them too far gone. They owned by the industry and they got to do this stuff, but a lot of y'all ain't. And this is what getting on code look like. Right? Now, we all done talk. I done talked about Red, done talked about it. We done talked about LULAC. Right? And I think it's good for us to hammer this home. Right? I think it's good for us to do this. We got to keep reminding not only the YT people of their history, we got to keep reminding these Latinos, so-called Latinos, of their history too, right? Because see, unlike y'all, we so improve when we talk about what we talk about, when we talk about what we talk about. The internet is a hell of a place, man. This is why they're trying to restrict our access to it and stuff like that, and creating what I've been telling y'all, the memory hole, man, on some George Orwell type stuff. This is why they're trying to restrict access to the internet and stuff all like that, man. Talking about ideologically based violence, because we starting to connect the dots. Project Leroy, what's happening, man? My brother Project Leroy in the building. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering, man. We got to keep reminding the YT folks about their history that they either don't know or they acting like they don't. This is one thing I do. I don't respect when people feign ignorance, especially allegedly grown adult people who's supposed to be of some level of intelligence and comprehension, right? So y'all can knock it off with that feigning ignorant stuff, man. How you gonna be older than me or as old as me and not know this stuff? Or even not even be open to like, oh, well, that, and then y'all call yourselves smart. Like I say, man, either y'all don't know y'all's history, which means y'all stupid, right? Or y'all do, and you're feigning ignorance, which is disrespect to my intelligence, right? But just in case y'all didn't know, or just in case y'all ain't gonna talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Y'all have a history of not rocking with us. This goes to prove y'all, show y'all when people like myself say that they don't rock with us. None of them. Latinos, Africans, Asians, Europeans, Caribbeans, they don't rock with us. We ain't got no friends. I may disagree with my FBA brothers on the things that I do, but one thing we all got in common that I noticed is that we all ain't got no problem with admitting and realizing and telling y'all, the rest of y'all, that these people don't rock with us. None of them. They never have. I think it's more important for us to focus on fixing, mending the bonds between us. We need to focus on that, man. We need to focus on getting rid of gang culture. No more blood, no more cripping, no more folking, no more GD and BD, and no more none of that stuff, man. We need to get on code, and I'm all for that. And I'm glad that I'm seeing my brothers making some sort of effort and step toward that nationwide collective. Listen, I see y'all, man. We just keep the momentum going. Things gonna fall into place like how they're supposed to. As far as me, though, A Real Talk podcast, A Real Talk Media, right? My door is always open to my brothers across the nation, my FBA brothers. I'm willing to collab, do business with, whatever, man, because I'm a real one like that, and I'm willing to show my face and put it all on the line. But when it comes to these Latino, and I'm not doing this to create division, the division has already been created, and not by me, not by us. Right? Y'all the ones who separated from us. Y'all the ones who said y'all don't want nothing to do with us. Our problems ain't your problems. Y'all don't want to be in any form or fashion associated with us. Y'all's leaders of y'all's so-called political movements for the advocacy of the rights of y'all have said this. Here's some of them right here. Now, either y'all Latinos just didn't get taught this history, or y'all have, and y'all just not saying nothing about it. I'm going to say it's a mixture of the two. Because just like our people, it's people amongst us who don't know our history. That's why it's other people like me who do to sit up here and do what I do. Right? But we are always going to remind y'all of y'all's history. Don't think we ain't going to do it. And we ain't racist or none of that weak ass so-called gaslighting stuff y'all try to do, trying to shame us into not telling the truth about y'all like it somehow is a black reflection on us, on our character, right? And we've been done the wrong out of all groups of people who are non-white in this hemisphere. We've been done the worst. And you think we ain't gonna say nothing about it? Like we don't know our history? Y'all got us effed up. I'm gonna just say that. Y'all got us effed up, right? And it's a beautiful thing. Y'all keep getting on one accord with each other. Let's all keep linking up. Let's put all our little petty differences to the side. I've been saying this. It's a beautiful thing. I love what I'm saying, across the nation, getting on code, right? Hey, man, y'all see what happened when we link up and we start loving each other and interacting with each other how we're supposed to, man. All our little regional differences, north, south, east, west, whatever, man, we can let all that little stuff die down, man. You know, these people, these Latinos as a whole, of course, we're not talking about all of y'all, because there are actually some of y'all who are cool, who do have the testicular and ovarian fortitude to be honest about this stuff, because y'all have done y'all due diligence and y'all know y'all's true history and y'all speak on it. And shout out to all the content creators, the Latino content creators who do speak on this subject, right? But it's not enough for y'all, right? And we definitely got to defend our stuff. And if you was a real one, you ain't got no problem with us defending this, right? Because y'all's leaders ain't want nothing to do with us. Just like the African people when they come over here. They ain't try to link up with us FBAs, do business with us FBAs, get up underneath us FBAs, deodorant. Look, man, we appreciate what y'all did in the Civil War and through Reconstruction and with Jim Crow and how y'all got sprayed with water houses during the Civil Rights Movement and all that crazy stuff that happened. We appreciate y'all sacrifices, man, that y'all did for leading the way for us Black folks around the world to be recognized as humans, right? Nah, y'all didn't come over here like that. Let's link up. Let's put our resources together. Let's create situations and relationships where we creating generational wealth for each other by intermarrying with each other, growing and making businesses with each other, right? Exchanging resources. Y'all ain't come over here like that. And just like the Africans did not come over here like that, y'all Latinos ain't come over here like that either. None of y'all, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Central Americans, South Americans, Mexicans, none of y'all came over here like that. Y'all all came over here trying to be like them. The very same people who oppressed y'all, oppressed us, y'all try to be like them against us. We've never tried to be like that to any of y'all. When y'all all was coming over, yeah, we crack jokes, man. That's what we do. That's what us FBAs do, man. We roast, man. We tell jokes, man. We do that to each other, man. It's part of our culture. But we do it to you because we love you, right? But outside of that, though, we embraced y'all in our communities, in our neighborhoods. Y'all the ones came over here with them funky, anti-Black attitude. We're not messing with them American niggas. We're not messing with the Blacks, with the Cocolos, with the Moetes. We're not messing with the, right? Mayetes. We ain't, whatever terms y'all got for us, we wasn't on that with y'all. And y'all have a severe case of Stockholm syndrome. I'm gonna say a little bit more. I'm gonna say a little bit more intense than what's been ingrained in us. And what I mean by that is, y'all have taken on. Although there is a percentage of us, very small, might I add, but there is an amount of us FBAs who have taken on the very mind of the so-called oppressor, right? We getting and we'll eventually get all of them under control. But y'all, for the most part, y'all have taken on the very mind, most of y'all, even the poor underclass of y'all have this mindset towards specifically us FBAs, right? And y'all's predecessors prove it. And this is why I'm saying the internet is a bad MFer, because y'all act like this information isn't out there for us to just like smack y'all in the face with. Another insult to our intelligence due to y'all's indoctrination from the oppressor, thinking that y'all somehow better than us or more intelligent than us. And the fact that y'all don't even like to admit that, that's an insult to my intelligence, our collective intelligence as well. We just ain't having it no more, and y'all can't take it. We're not doing with the disrespect and the insulting of our intelligence no more, especially when we come into the realization that Everything around the world that is popping basically happened because of us. And when I say us, I mean us specifically, foundational Black Americans right here in America and nobody else. Right? And ain't nobody crying. See, that's the stuff I be talking about when people like this person come in saying that. Ain't nobody crying. We just merely stating our case. It's just we do it in such a way that it just comes off as if we're crying or complaining because y'all not used to dudes like me coming online and saying what it is without tiptoeing or worry about who I'm offending. Right? It is what it is, man. But like I said, these Latinos, y'all's older homies, man. Y'all's people, man. They the ones who was on the bull, man. Not us. They ain't want nothing to do with us. They wanted to be completely separated from us. Right? Now y'all sitting here crying, talking about why the blacks ain't helping. Why would we? Why should we? What's in it for us? How do us FBAs as a collective in America now benefit from assisting any of y'all with anything that's going on? What we get from it? What we gonna get? What y'all gonna give us tangible if we was decide like, okay, we about to sit up here and advocate for these people with this whole, what we gonna get? It don't matter at this point, right? My man Daniel Valencia, what's good? My man Project Liberal said, ask those same Latinos to travel to Spain and call themselves Spanish. Yo, yeah, y'all here. Look, the real live Spaniards and Portuguese don't even rock with y'all. They don't even claim y'all. Hi, and 1122 says, you and Big E was just crying on your boy King Supreme show. Man, shut up. I am at that sucker ass stuff you talking, man. And my moms, don't block this dude or girl, hi, and don't block them. They ain't saying nothing. Don't block them. If they get out the way, I'll give y'all the word. You did. My man, you know I'm about to show the facts, man. You know I'm always gonna show the facts, man. Stacks with the facts, man. I ain't gonna sit up here and just make up stuff and pull stuff out of the clouds. We're gonna always come with the facts. 206 Seahawks. I helped y'all when was marching Black Lives Matter. Ungrateful. No, I wasn't ungrateful though, but I mean it wasn't a significant amount of y'all marching when that was going on. And two, it really don't matter if y'all was, man. Right? Black Lives Matter is not a black organization. Right? They totally siphoned and sucked off of that whole situation. And they ain't did nothing for the black community, not one thing at all. We y'all don't hear us claiming Black Lives Matter. Y'all only hear the goofy, uninformed, non-due diligence people amongst us. They only scream that Black Lives Matter crap, man. We don't support that. We don't support George Soros in the FBA community. He is a direct enemy of our community. What are y'all talking about? Right? Nah, we call ourselves FBA all day, every day, no days off. Foundational Black Americans. The title fits. Right? Foundational, meaning we built this motherfucker. Right? We are the foundation. We literally built this country. Right? And we're black. I don't think we need to be identifying ourselves with that term black because that's another show for another day, just speaking on the term black. But for the lack of a time or a separate show for this, we're going to use that as a functioning term right now. Foundational Black American. Yes, we are Americans, originated through and through. Most of us FBAs, we can trace our family back 4, 5, 6, 7 generations, man, right here in America. We've been basically to some extent grafted out of our African roots, and we're straight American. And even if we was to for some reason tie ourselves to the African roots that we may have, y'all don't rock with us, man. Y'all don't rock with us, man. So we won't just keep it like that. And now we just making that delineation. It's cool. Y'all go do y'all. We're going to do us. And maybe, just maybe, when we fix our house and y'all fix your house and y'all ain't on that BS, maybe we'll be willing to forgive and forget and move on and finally come together like how y'all should have when y'all first came over here. Latinos as well, too. Right? My man Maurice. Hold on, let me see what my man Daniel Valencia said. See what they said when NAACP wanted to integrate schools were mostly Latino. They said they didn't want to go to school with black people because they were dirty and that all type of crazy stuff, man. My man, Dr. Maurice Howard Jr., power to the people, F family B1. You already know my brother, man, Dr. Maurice Howard Jr. That's what's up. What type of doctor is you, brother? High-end says, no, FBA didn't build this country because it would have been taken over easily. Nah, that's the thing. It ain't been able to been taken over easily. Listen, it hasn't been taken over easily. I'm explaining to y'all why before I get to these LULAC guys, right? It taking over easy is not covertly, right? Covertly setting up a situation to where we're going to get drugs from other countries, right? And we're going to bring it into America to purposely disrupt the situation of the black population within these cities because they're prospering too much. They're going to outpopulate us if they keep up at this rate right now. We're talking about the early 1900s, after Reconstruction, during Reconstruction, going into Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement. Black people were very united. We were very successful all across America. This is why we were not all slaves, not all of us. Some of us were, but not all of us. And they just didn't like our they didn't like our progress because we wasn't going to need them. Right? Man, we ain't blame, man. It is what it is. We know who's to blame. Right? Right? No, white people weren't slaves. White people wasn't chattel slaves. No, they were not. They didn't get sold on the market. No, they did not. They were indentured servants, a mild form of servitude, not necessarily chattel slavery. Right? And this is what y'all white folks got to understand too, man. Y'all weren't slaves. Y'all were indentured servants. Right? Y'all were employees, which the Slavic term for the word Slav is an employee or employee or worker. Hence the term slavery. It's different types of slavery now, man, because the slavery that a portion of us come from, and most, if not all true African Americans mean y'all are products of the Africans who were bought over here as chattel slavery, which ain't all slaves or most, just a portion, right? My man 92 Dolo, what's good with you, brother? You already know, happy holidays to you too. Y'all gotta understand there's different types of slavery, man. Not all slavery is chattel slavery. We're talking about chattel slavery, and then we got slavery, employment, indentured servitude, right? Of the corporation. How you think it was so many freed black men who were very extremely wealthy prior, right, to Reconstruction, right after the Civil War? You know, there was like hundreds of thousands of wealthy freed black men. You think they got that money from Khazarian demons who owned goddamn it plantations? They just gave it to them? Huh? Come on now, man. Do y'all's research, man. Most of the slave plantations were not owned by white people. Now back to you Latinos, right? Y'all's forefathers, y'all's predecessors ain't want nothing to do with us. And LULAC is a functioning organization to this day that is subsidized by the U.S. government. and some taxpayers, some of us taxpayers, along with other interests like the Open Society Foundation networks. Who owns that? I just said his name earlier. Was y'all paying attention? Right? Felix Tejeda. He was the president of LULAC. He said, let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with him. And this was the sentiment amongst y'all's political leaders. And I want to say still pretty much is to this day. Look what happened with Nuri Martinez and homeboy goddamn De Leon out there in LA. Right? All that crazy stuff they talk about, calling our little kids monkeys and stuff, thinking ain't nobody understanding Espanol. Right? So yeah, we're going to keep reminding y'all Latinos of y'all's history and why we ain't rocking with y'all. Why we got to separate y'all from us like we got to separate everybody else. And this is why we're going so hard on the creation of hip hop. This is why we're doing the history that we're doing. We're doing the due diligence. And we showing the receipts, the history, the historical facts to show that y'all ain't never rock with us. So how could y'all ever help create something when this is how y'all forefathers felt towards us? LULAC was founded in the 1930s, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Anti-Black racism, right, in post-colonial society. Right? Well, let me pull this video up for y'all though. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Don't let my brother 92 Dolo be alone. You did. Support your interests, man. Right? Support your brother and your brother who out here putting this work in. You sit up here bringing this information and this knowledge to y'all, man. Right? This has been ingrained into the fabric fibers of y'all psyches in so-called Latin America, specifically in America, right? Well, my man Dave. Yeah, all over America, y'all got put all the. Listen, this is why I be saying, see, this is why I love what's going on. My FBA brethren and sistren, we are well-read, well-researched, due diligence, research content. We know our history, man. Y'all can't tell us. We know y'all's history too. Y'all history just don't match up with ours because we never oppressed anybody, man. We never try to force anybody to out of their resources or anything like that. You check our history globally, man. Our history is a history of people who innovated, created. You hear me? Never hated. You hear me? Never duplicated. You did. All that. I love the engagement in the comment section. Y'all keep it going, man. FBA all day, every day. Don't ever let anybody, my FBA brethren and sisters, don't let nobody try to shame you into repping or speaking up on the truth of your people and the truth of theirs, man. It's just their truth ain't cute. It's ugly. The truth of y'all's history is ugly, man. Ours is beautiful. You hear me? Even the ugly parts, right? Yeah, and that's a fact. And I'm glad that high-end 1122, that's true. High-end 1122, that is very true. Separate you guys are not hurting no one. Exactly. That's why we getting on code. That's why we delineating from all of y'all who really don't rock with us for real. And we focusing on us. We fixing our house. Y'all don't even like that. Y'all don't like that though. We don't care if y'all don't like it. because we're not lying about anything. We're telling the truth. This is the facts. All right. Felix Tedina is a founding member, was the president. He wasn't a founding member, but he was the president of LULAC, and he was the personification of LULAC's basic ideology, especially their perception and views towards us FBAs. Right? What this person say? Beat active 8075. I guess you FBA don't even know your own history, because if you know real history, you would know that the Saltwater Railroad, what? Which was where the English FBA runaway ran to be saved by the Latino man. Y'all listen here. Y'all people can't tell us our history. Y'all can sit up and come with things that happen in history. That ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about, man. What does the Saltwater Railroad got to do with what we talking about? And that's the thing, high end 1122. We don't have an agenda. All we doing is just doing us. That's what the agenda is. We focusing on us. That's the agenda, man. Right? Which it ain't a secret plot between. No, it ain't really right. It's not we just not rocking with anybody while focusing on rocking with us. That's all it is, y'all. There's no secret to it. There's no deep philosophical revelation to it. It's just simplicity, man. Rest in the essence to my brother, Simple the P. I'm speaking in the language of simplicity right now. We just focusing on us. That's it. It ain't no conspiracy. It ain't no agenda. It ain't no hatred towards nobody. It's more love just towards us. Because like high-end 22 just said earlier, separate, we ain't going to get nowhere. Just like we haven't gotten nowhere because we so separated, right? 5%ers, Christians, all the different denominations, Christians, Muslims, you know what I'm talking about, Hebrew Israelites, got the fun boys, the fun girls, and all. We so divided amongst ourselves. And just like high-end 1122 said earlier, we need to focus on joining together. And that's what we're doing now. And in order for us to do that, though, we can't rock with none of y'all. We got to focus on us and only us and nobody else. That means delineating. That means gatekeeping. That means speaking up when we get associated with especially these Africans and Caribbeans who doing all this BS. We got to separate ourselves from y'all like how y'all do when y'all come over here and say, I know black, I Cuban, I know black, I whatever. Right? We separate from y'all. No, we're FBAs. We're not Caribbeans, we're not Africans, we're not Latinos, we're not none of that. We're foundational Black Americans. That ain't got nothing to do with us, right? Just like how y'all do. That's all. That's all, man. That's what's up, man. Maurice Howard Jr. I ain't copying nothing, man. That's my brother, man. I'm a real one. You better check my background, brother. High-end 1122. You know what I'm saying? They can't listen here, and I challenge I'm gonna drop the link. I challenge anybody to come up here and challenge me. I'm a very well-read, research-learned guy, right? And I'm gonna get into a little bit more deeper than this because yeah, I'm gonna put y'all up on game on some. I spoke on it before too, and I know a lot of you so-called Latinos don't even know. This is how I know y'all don't know y'all history, and this is why I don't understand why y'all thought the American government was ever going to be on y'all side outside of using y'all what they have used y'all for the past down there 70 years, 80 years. Recently with the illegals, the past like 30, almost 40 years. Right, my man Tima Suna said facts on facts, bro. Than rap. One thing I ain't gonna do is lie to y'all, man. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I have no reason to lie to y'all. My man Project Leroy come through with the love. FBA all day, every day. Happy holidays, brother. You already know Project Leroy. Y'all make it like my brother Project Leroy, man. Sit up there and bless that super chat, man. Show that love. We got to support each other, man. All my independent FBA content creators, I support everybody who I listen to financially. And I'm pretty decent over here. I could be in a better situation, but I support because I believe it's worth it. When I listen to valuable quality content, I think it should be financially supported, and I do so. All right. So the first Black Americans were Latinos. Know the English FBA. I don't know. If I understand what you're saying, that's false, but I don't know if that's what I don't know. Fish eye food. What's up with you, fish eye food? That's a hell of a name, man. He said this guy's literally a carbon copy of other YouTubers. You shrinking the bag. Nigga, ain't nobody on YouTube like me, nigga. Y'all just now tapping in with the kid, man. Listen, don't nobody break this shit down like me, right? Y'all just mad that it's a lot of us content creators who getting on one accord and speaking up for our people. So if we all getting on one accord and speaking up for our people and our history, don't you think we're going to be saying some of the same stuff? It's not too much that I can reveal or revelate that anybody else could reveal or revelate, with the exception of some things, right? All of that stuff, y'all people be talking, man, that stuff ain't meaning none. That stuff going in one ear and out the other ear, man. It's FBA all day, every day. I love seeing how people get riled up that we getting on one accord with each other and holding y'all account and telling y'all's history. I love it. I want 1,000 more stacks with the facts to rise up and say exactly what I'm saying, right? The more, the merrier. You dig? Y'all keep saying, man, if the first Latinos is, put the proof up, man. Prove it. The history doesn't point to anything y'all say. Like I say, y'all been indoctrinated with this mindset, this Latin liberation mindset so much that y'all flat out lie, just like the people who oppressed y'all. Where's the history that the first FBAs were Latinos, man? Where's the evidence and proof of that? Please show me. You might know something I don't know, right? Yeah, of course I'm a carbon copy. I come from the same place. Right? We all got our idiosyncrasies, we all got our differences, but for the most part, we all come from the same place. That's the thing. That's the thing that binds us FBAs, y'all. I like what y'all saying in the comment section. Of course, I'm a carbon copy. I'm a young FBA man from the hood in Columbus, Ohio. With the exception of our regional differences, we're all the same. We all were subject to the exact same experiences. Of course, we're going to be carbon copies of each other for the most part, especially when we're talking about such matters. It ain't going to be too much different, I say, than anybody else says. The thing is now that it's just a lot of us saying it. And that's a good thing. Repetition is the key. And I hope it's 1,000 more stacks with the facts inspired content creators, citizen journalists pop up with all of this going on, telling the truth about our people and our history, keeping it 100 and making sure y'all so-called Latinos and other folks don't try to remix our history and trying to tell us our history, right? While ignoring y'all's. I don't see no Latinos talking about this Zionist-funded, anti-Black, how can I say it, conservative, extreme right, propaganda arm called the Latino people. I don't hear y'all talking about this. See, we ain't got no stains on our history, man. We never try to collude with the YT folks and the Khazarians behind the scenes, and those of us who did, we exposed them already, right? We know who the traitors amongst us are, right? And those of us who expose these people and talk about these people, we get straight ridiculed and condemned by those amongst our people, FBAs, who don't know the real about our so-called historical leaders. So, you know, do your due diligence, like I always tell y'all, right? Do your due diligence, like I always tell y'all, man. You know, this is something that has been embedded in Latinos' mind frame like other people. And y'all know, y'all got a real big voice on the internet, and I'm proud for that. I'm happy that I want y'all to have a voice, but I don't hear none of y'all talking about this, though. Y'all have adopted the very victimhood mindset of y'all so-called colonizers, right? Way more so than the collective of us have. And now that we delineating and holding to account, now we the problem. And that's all good. We'll wear that badge, we'll wear that jacket, long as y'all know that we ain't y'all. We separating ourselves. So when certain stuff happen, they ain't talking about us. Just like when y'all have y'all's achievements, y'all from wherever y'all from. Y'all don't be laying claim to all that BS, all these crazy illegals been doing from y'all's countries in our country for the past, specifically the past 5 years. I don't hear none of y'all talking about this stuff, right? And it's going to be more and more and more of us that rise up and talk about these topics, these issues. I hope it be more of us. I hope it be more carbon copies, right? Y'all care. Y'all the one up in our comment sections saying stuff to us. We ain't, if y'all having conversations, we ain't up in there trying to impose or invade the conversation, right? Right? Yeah, it's called, like my memories said, it's called being on code. Like how when y'all be on code amongst y'all people, how Africans be on code, how Caribbeans be on code, Jamaicans, Haitians, how y'all be on code, Latinos, Mexicans, Venezuelans, whoeverins, how y'all be, La Raza, how y'all be on code with each other. We just being on code with each other. It's all good. Being on code means separating ourselves, right? In order to build, sometimes you got to destroy, man, right? But what I would like to see from y'all so-called Latinos, I would like to see y'all keeping it real about y'all's predecessors, y'all's forefathers. And stop playing this victimhood role as if us FBAs is on some BS for not supporting y'all or helping y'all or rocking with y'all, when y'all have never supported, helped, or rocked with us, right? Politically, especially politically. Look at what y'all said back in the day. Let the Negro fight his own battle. So that's what we on, man. Let the Latinos fight their own battles, man. Y'all fight y'all's own battles, right? We're not helping nothing. We're not protesting. We're not advocating. No, y'all figure that out. That's between y'all and the American government. We good. We American citizens. We cannot be deported. We will not be deported. We need to focus on what we need to focus on amongst ourselves, right? Right. Y'all watch y'all's language in the comment section. Ain't no need to be racially slurring nobody. Ain't no need to be cursing nobody out. Matter of fact, refrain, if y'all would, from using profanity. If you want to use profanity, please box cleverly and type it in a way to where the unintelligent artificial intelligence won't be able to detect what you're saying. Right? We don't do censorship over here at Real Talk, but just be respectful. I'm not disrespecting anybody. Don't disrespect the platform. One thing we all going to do is stand on manhood and stand on respect. No matter if we disagree or not, we can at least agree to have respect for each other. There's no need to use crazy language, racial slurs, epithets, none of that. If you're an intelligent, grown man, you should be able to articulate yourself without having to use profane language. Right? Y'all got a history of this, man, Latinos. So why should we link up with y'all now? Why should we, man? What's we going to benefit from that? Right? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe. I'm about to roll up a joint, man. Meet and greet each other as y'all come in, man. It's okay to have differences, man. It's not okay to be disrespectful, man. Intentionally anyway, man. You know, we can disagree without being disrespectful, you know? Latinos, this is part of y'all's culture. Why don't y'all talk about it, man? Why don't y'all talk about this? I don't see a lot of Latino platforms talking about this, though. It just behooves me why y'all don't, right?
So I thought it would be interesting and necessary to talk about this, and I'm hoping to do a video, I think after the one I'm working on right now, to do a video on racism in the Latin Hispanic community. It's a thing that is kind of talked about, but not really talked about. And in the greater American media, folks think that there is no racism coming from the Latin Hispanic community, when we all know there is a shocking amount of racism in the Latin Hispanic community against each other, against Indigenous people, against Black people. So in order to make this video a lot better, because I'm like a white passing Latina, I want you guys to tell me and let me know your experiences with racism, any insights you guys might have that I will miss because, again, I'm a white passing Latina. And like, you guys let me know what you want to see in this video and what I should talk about.
Right. That's a white girl. That's a white girl Latina being honest. Right. that's a white girl Latina being honest. Why don't y'all talk about this, though? Did it ever cross your mind that if y'all just got honest about this ideology that is ingrained into the fibers of y'all's culture and society, did it ever imagine or cross y'all's mind that maybe if we just be honest with how we've been taught, how we've been basically brainwashed into thinking towards Black folks in general, maybe that would increase the interacting of relationships between us. Maybe we can get along better if we just be honest about this thing. But no, y'all don't, right? And I mean, and this is just at a point where it's just cool now. We just saying something about it now, right? And y'all can get mad at that if y'all want to, though. But this is a part of being on code. A part of being on code is us coming out and speaking on these topics, being carbon copies of each other. That's what being on code is, right? And the Cubans and the Latinos didn't fight for us in no Civil War. Y'all's impact and involvement in the Civil War was minimal, damn near non-existent at best. Right? They just came and got some of you Black folks from Hispaniola and forced y'all to fight in the war. They didn't fight in the war because they wanted to. They was forced to do that because, like some of the African Alkebulan slaves brought over here, y'all down there in Hispaniola, present day Dominican Republic and Haiti, y'all were actually chattel slaves too. Matter of fact, y'all were the actual slaves that couldn't be or were very difficult to be buck broken. So that's where they sent y'all, because y'all wasn't easily to be broken up here in America. Right? So that's the only reason why Cubans, Hispaniolians were even involved in the Civil War up here, because y'all were forced to. Y'all were property. Basically like buying some soldiers in a video game and saying, here, fight. Y'all didn't even have a choice in the matter. You didn't willingly do it. Y'all were slaves in Cuba. Hispaniola, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Turks, Caicos, Bahamas. Y'all were slaves, chattel slaves. In Hispaniola, present-day Haiti and Dominican Republic, was where they sent, in Jamaica, parts of Cuba, is where they sent the slaves that could not be buck broken. The African slaves from Alkebulan that were brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade, not the foundational native indigenous Black Americans who were indentured servants, Slav employees. It's a difference. He gonna say that like the Cubans and the Dominicans and the Haitians, like they was brought up here fighting in the war because they wanted to. No, they were made to, bro. They were property. It's like playing a video game and you like, I want to buy some more soldiers to come help me fight this battle. That's what it was like. You know? You know? Civil, you know, they didn't fight in the war in the Civil War. How does the fighting in the Civil War in America liberate Cuba? How did it liberate Cuba? When Cuba been under American rule forever, even current day. Yeah, that's what it is, Mr. Know-It-All. That's what it is. They just never thought we would rise up again. They thought what J. Edgar Hoover said was some real talk. When J. Edgar Hoover said there'll never be another Black Messiah unless we create him, we proven to him that that's wrong. And as much as they try to infiltrate our culture, it's a new one rising right now with this whole delineation. You see, this delineation thing is separating us from all the boulets, separating us from all the people who are members of fraternal organizations and stuff like that. That's something that's not being talked about. It's a whole new wave of FBAs who have not been compromised by the Khazarians. A lot of us are very independent. This is why I talk to y'all about HR 1955, because that legislation is specifically going to be targeted at us, not just us as like Black folks, but us who choose to speak out and do what we're doing right now with this whole FBA thing. Right? They're going to try to call us terrorists, homegrown terrorists. Right? You did. Y'all got a history of this, man.
I don't think so. I think she was speaking to and addressing the big elephant in the room.
What's the big elephant
between Blacks and Latinos in America? If you go to Cuba, and those were Cuban podcast members, these were two Cuban women. In Cuba, there's always been a racial animosity rift between Black Cubans and white Cubans in Cuba. This is a fact. In fact, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan addressed that same issue when he visited Cuba and met with Fidel Castro, because many of the Black Cubans was asking the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to speak to Fidel Castro about the mistreatment of Black Cubans in Cuba. Charles, you see that same dynamic in Colombia, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, where the black-skinned Latino is at the bottom and badly mistreated, but the white-skinned one is on top. In Florida and around America, I want Latinos to think about this, and Black people. There was a famous white supremacist scholar in America who wrote a book in the 90s called Two Nations, Dr. Andrew Hacker. In that book, he wrote One Nation Black, One Nation White. And he spoke about the fear of genetic annihilation in America if Black and brown birth rates continue to soar and white birth rates continue to go backward. He said that within 30 years, America would be majority minority, no longer white control or dominated. I don't think so. I think.
Mighty how time reveals what was once spoken, right? Right. And listen here, this is, no, we actually racking up dubs Because the more that y'all sit up here and talk about us in the way y'all do, that's more and more reason for us to keep on the trajectory that we are. Right? We don't need to be rocking with none of y'all, man, and it's cool. We just gonna focus on that. In the meantime, we about to gatekeep hip hop. Y'all ain't about to be allowed to do hip hop unless we give y'all the okay. Right? Because if we don't rock with it, it ain't gonna sell. Have y'all paid attention to that? Notice when y'all don't get our support, your rap career don't do too great. The music industry can only push you so far, right? That's why they're trying to push for AI artists and stuff now, right? I mean, we got like receipts and history on history on history.
Americans are obsessed with race. As an outsider looking,
and this is exactly why y'all need to start looking at mestizos and white mestizos as the white people that they are. They are the white people of Latin America. They are the dominant group of Latin America. This is the dominant classes trying to speak over and for the racialized classes of Latin America. They are akin to Anglos in the US, white people, who will say similar. Oh, there's not a big deal with race here. Of course not. You're not being racialized. Dominant groups are not being racialized. Dominant groups should not speak for racialized people. I contend with race more in Latin America than I ever do in the US. And this is not to give the US an escape hatch or say it's less, none of that. I am offering my experiences. Racial othering is common, normalized in Latin America.
Americans are obsessed.
And I want to address this right here with high-end 1122. FBA don't have the power to ban Latinos from hip-hop, and Puerto Ricans did help you guys create hip-hop. No, they just didn't. No, they didn't. And we do have the power to ban y'all from him. You see what happened to Fat Joe? Without our support, ain't nobody come to his whack-ass show in Chicago. Shout out to our FBA brethren and sisters for staying on code in the Chi-Town. Windy City stood up. That show tanked. He had to cancel the show due to lack of people purchasing tickets. So don't tell us we ain't got the power. See, they like to do this, y'all. They like to say we ain't got no power. If we don't give y'all the stamp of approval, y'all's hip hop ain't gonna sell. Nobody's gonna buy that whack ass shit, man. We prove it time and time again. And it's also been proven that if we don't stamp it, y'all won't support it. Look at the career of y'all's fledgling, trash ass, non-rhyming, non-bar having Latino and Mexican rap artists. Most of y'all suck. Y'all absolutely are trash. The record labels are not pushing y'all. Y'all don't even push yourselves, right? So if we FBAs decide that you ain't going to sell no music, we ain't going to tell you not to make it. We just ain't going to support it. We just ain't going to collab with y'all. We're not going to make you relevant in urban culture because we run urban culture. And urban culture runs the world, right? Right? Shout out to Lotus Tide in the building. Puerto Ricans participated. They did not contribute. Flat out. And y'all was raised from the inception from y'all's from y'all's Portuguese, y'all's Spanish, y'all's Italian, some French, some Dutch slave masters. Y'all was indoctrinated with this, and some Russia too, from when all those Project Paperclip ex-Nazis, ex-Bolsheviks came over y'all's country, or should I say countries, and furtherly indoctrinated y'all in anti-Black theology and slash Black, or should I say liberation theology, Latin liberation theology. Right? Oh, that's right, man. My man D. I like that, D. Ignorant. That's fly, man. See, that's FBA shit, man. Just because you can emulate does not mean you can stimulate. You did, huh? Y'all can sit up here and post all the stuff y'all want in the comment section. None of this stuff proves that any of you groups of people outside of the FBAs originated anything, man. All the history points to us. All the history points to us, man. None of it points to y'all. None of it does, right? It just doesn't, man. And y'all got to accept that, man. It's okay. Just pay homage. Why it's so hard for y'all to pay homage? Y'all don't influence society. Y'all don't influence culture. Y'all haven't since y'all been here.
The amount of racism, colorism, texturism, all kinds of isms that I have to deal with within my own community as a Hispanic and Latin American woman, I can full-heartedly, with a big old wide mouth and my entire chest, say that Hispanic people have hatred towards Black people. The darker they are, the more hate we receive. Of course, it's not blatant and it's not overt. It is literally ingrained within our own community and our own heritage and our own culture to be anti-Black. You may not want to hear it and you don't like the statement. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. And this is not me being angry or coming towards you. I'm speaking to you from experience. Porque de nada yo tengo que mentir. I had to lie about nothing. The amount of racism, colorism, texturism, all kinds of isms that I have to deal with within my own community as a Hispanic and Latin American.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding, y'all. This has been ingrained into the very fabric virus of y'all's Latin society and psyche and culture. The fact that y'all deny this when there's so much evidence to prove it is crazy, man. Now, versus y'all sitting up here, coming in our spaces, paying homage, saying, man, FBAs, how can we correct what our predecessors have said? How can we better, understand, put us up on game, put us under y'all's deodorant, show us the way, right? Y'all created the most dominant culture on the planet, right? We are loosely related, connected due to the melanation of our skin. So how about we work together and y'all just show us the way? And y'all got that big head from y'all's oppressors, man. Y'all don't even understand that it is psychological. You understand? We're talking about social engineering, right? My brother's going off in the comment section, man. That's right, man. Yeah, and that's exactly what she's doing, Lotus Tide. So to speak, right? Right. Of course, this is what they're going to do, man. Right? And this is why we need to focus on delineating, y'all. This is why it's important to separate ourselves and focus on us. Right? But now we the ones on some BS since we starting to do that. And I love it, man. All the more reason why we need to do it.
If you are not a Black person, much like myself, I want you to sit with this question. When people like us are rude or discriminatory towards Black people, why is it that some of us are so quick to call for mercy and understanding and, oh, this is all that they've ever known as an excuse for their behavior, and yet we completely ignore any mercy that could be shown to the victim of their discrimination and rude behavior? Why don't we feel compassion for them? Why don't we want to see mercy shown to them? Why don't we want to show love and care and concern to our Black siblings in humanity? If you are not a Black person, much like my...
That's a good question. And I showed that video. So this is not just amongst the Latinos. This is amongst all y'all. Everyone around the world has anti-Black racism in their ideologies of their countries. Every other nation on this planet, European, Asian, even African, man. Mexicans specifically, right? I want to put y'all up on some game, right? Maybe some of y'all might be aware of this. Maybe some of y'all not, right? I want to put y'all up on some game though, man, right? Nah, it's most of y'all. It's most of them. In any group of people, it's definitely the majority of y'all who have this anti-Black sentiment and ideology. It's the majority of y'all. Yes, it is. All right. Well, let me put y'all Mexicans especially up on game, right? Now, how many of y'all are familiar with the Repatriation Act? This was during the Great Depression. Politically, much like the times we living in now, right? What y'all know about the Repatriation Act, where the U.S. government sent legal Mexican-American citizens, about 2 million of y'all, back to Mexico during the Great Depression because of organizations in their early days like LULAC forming. And these people weren't illegal citizens, or should I say, they weren't illegal immigrants. They were Mexican American citizens, and they sent y'all's asses back anyway because they seen that during the Great Depression, y'all was starting to get some political grounding, and to disrupt that, they just revoked visas, green cards, and they sent y'all's asses back. I'm showing y'all this to show y'all that this is government legislation through Congress, and if they did it once, they'll do it again, and it seems like that's what they're doing again, but the only difference is they're just getting rid of illegals. Right? And that's what I'm saying, Lotus. Y'all, when y'all come over here, y'all don't learn our laws. And y'all been indoctrinated with this anti-Black ideology, what makes y'all think that we stupid over here. Like, we don't see, we're not stupid. They lied to y'all. The overwhelmingly mass majority of us FBAs, we are highly intelligent. We literally created everything damn near in the world. Why would y'all think that that intelligence just went away? The reason why y'all have traffic lights in y'all's countries is because of us, man. Y'all ain't even got enough. Y'all ain't even got enough temerity to even recognize or acknowledge that and pay homage for that. All the more reason for us to delineate and not rock with y'all, man, and focus on us. Focus on our greatness collectively and shine light on and constantly keep reminding y'all of the things that we contributed to global society that all the rest of y'all are now trying to steal. All that stealing our culture and that stuff is over with. That was yesterday's FBAs. We the new FBAs, man. We ain't having it. It ain't happening. Not on our watch. And as we slowly but surely get on code with each other, of course, this is what the comment section is going to look like. And that's beautiful. That's confirmation of the information. We ain't got no allies. All we got is us. Everybody else is against us. Everybody else want to tell us about our history. Everybody else want to siphon, tether, connect themselves to our history as if they had a hand in it. Trying to tell us what we don't know, trying to tell us something about us like we don't know about us. Them days is over with, man. That's all. You know, I'm about to drop the link, man. Anybody want to come up, you're more than welcome to. You know, I open the panel all the time over here. Y'all might be just new tapping in with me, man, but you know, all the little antics in the comment section, all that stuff is cute, man. But listen here, man. FBA all day, every day, no days off. Yes, I am a carbon copy of any of my authentic, true, real one FBA brethren standing on manhood, masculinity. Shout out to my brother Sir Ism and Manalytics and protecting and defending our culture. Yeah, I'm a carbon copy all day. Right? I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely wild. Y'all had all this disdain and disrespect for us, telling us we ain't got no culture, calling us till we were slaves, we gangbangers, we baby mamas, we don't know who our daddies is, and blah, 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 blah. And we the same persons, y'all coming back asking for some help. No. Catch your own fade. Put your own work in around here. You did. We're going to put our work in and focus on us. We're going to focus on FBA. And the more y'all say, what is it? The more y'all try to define what it is, the more we standing on 100, right? The more we standing on 100 and we saying, nah, we determine what FBA is, not y'all. We'll determine if you is one of us. How about that? Now, high end 1122, I'll tell you, come up here, just make sure you're respectful. You know, you can say, well, Steve, just make sure you're respectful. High end 1122, what's happening, man? You got the floor, brethren or sister.
Why do you call yourselves FBA?
Why? Because it's a fitting. Listen to me, and let me answer that. Listen, right? How you doing, brother?
Good. You?
Who raised you? Ain't know when you come to somebody's house, you say hello and you introduce yourself in Greek, meet and greet?
No, I just said hello.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Why do we call ourselves FBA? For one, let me just get this clear before anybody say anything. Tariq didn't come up with the term. He didn't create it. He didn't start it. He popularized it. For sure. He did not create it. He didn't. He just didn't, man. Not
you
only
guys
did
wasn't
he
calling
create
yourselves
it, the
like
man
that in
himself has
2021.
said out his own mouth that he didn't come up with it. But I mean, if y'all want to run with that, run with that. This is why we call ourselves FBAs, because it's a fitting term. We are the foundational Black Americans, meaning we are the people who founded the current structure of this society. Yes, we literally built it from the ground up.
You guys wasn't calling yourselves that 5 years ago.
It don't matter, man. Hebrew Israelites wasn't calling themselves Hebrew Israelites until the past 10 years ago. They got popular. What that mean? Right? It's a fitting term, brother. We are foundational Black. We are the founders of this nation. We literally founded the very infrastructure. Us.
It doesn't mean anything, but like, what has the FBA done for the Black community?
What have we done for the Black community? We created organizations within the Black community to, at some point, help the Black community. If you want to talk about present, let's talk about Tariq. Tariq got the museum. He had the March for Reparations 2 years in a row. I attended one, right? He also does stuff working in the community. He ain't the only one. There's tons of FBA people all across America doing things in their regional areas to contribute to the betterment of us FBA people locally. Even here in my city, Columbus, Ohio, I'm involved with a lot of work in the community with FBAs, advocating for the mental health of young Black men. Yes. What do you what? We're putting all type of work in. And it's getting to the point now where it's starting to come to fruition because we're getting on code with each other.
What has Tariq Nasheed done for the Black community?
I just sit up there and told you he done put together the rally for reparations 2 years. I've been to one. He got the museum out there. He made movies putting us up on history. He does all type of work in the city of LA doing with his organization he got. I mean, what hasn't he done?
If anything, I tell you what has he done. He's he's causing division. That's what he's doing.
We got to listen here. How you say the name? I want to make sure how do you pronounce? Is that? Am I saying it high in 1122? Is that right?
You can say it. You can say it just like that.
Okay. I mean, I want to say it the way you want it. You know. But if that's cool, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I mean, in order to build, we got to destroy, brother. That's the whole point of us delineating now, because trying to so-called work together with people who don't really rock with us ain't worked out for us.
Well, I'll tell you what, like the people who don't rock with you guys, I mean, that's on them. I mean, I mean, you, Red Supreme, and all others, y'all can't just like throw like certain people in the category, like just because the majority is like that. I mean, who cares about the majority? Like the majority is going to be who they are. Like if you have individuals as a whole that rock with you, then that's cool too. But like, who cares about the majority? The masses is going to be who they are.
We care about the majority. This is why we're speaking on it, because the majority, unfortunately, represents the most of a group of people. So
But
we got
that's
to
on
focus
them.
on them.
But that's on them. But that's on
Yeah, it's on
them.
them, but see, it trickles down, though, high in 1122 to the people. It's a hierarchical structure. It trickles down. It's a downhill effect, right? So that's the reason why we got to focus on the majority, because even though there are groups of Latinos who actually is cool with this, you got some of them who speaking on this, the majority of them do not, which means the majority of them go along with it. And it's proven in our society and our life experiences, especially my personal anecdotal experience. This is not something I'm making up. It's not that what I'm saying is not true. What I'm saying is absolutely true. This is how most of them feel. And I'm showing with this breakdown of the history of how it goes back, how it's been ingrained into the fabric fibers of these people's psyches, ideologies, culture to not like specifically us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what you saying? Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like as far as the majority goes, I mean, like just don't deal with them. Like
And that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. That's the whole, but everybody up in their arms because we starting to delineate and separate. Why they getting salty, right? And to think we ain't gonna say nothing about it is crazy. So we're supposed to just be quiet and ignore it? No, absolutely not. I would never tell y'all that. Be loud. Put it in their face every chance you get. Remind the Latinos, remind the YT people, remind the Khazarian demons of their history every chance you get. Don't ignore anything. And anybody who would tell you something like that, you know, they're probably a sucker.
Well, I'm not telling you. Well, I'm not telling you guys like to be quiet. I mean, you do what you want to do, but in reality, like it's the Jews that. Well, I'm not saying Jews as a whole. It's the Jews that's in higher power that like as far as like the elite that got everybody like divided and like people and how people like the majority and how they are like it's the reason behind everything.
Yeah, you're right. And we especially me over here, we definitely expose. You hear me say it all the time. I refer to people who they really are. Every Hebrew is a Jew, but not every Jew is a Hebrew, right? That's why I use the term Khazarians, because that's what they are. Who you're talking about, you're not even talking about necessarily Jews. You're talking about those who say they are Jews, but are really of the synagogue of Satan. That's who you're talking about. And that's another topic for another day. I talk about those people a lot, you know?
Yeah,
So,
but
right?
yeah,
Those of us
yeah.
who are in the know, listen, hi, and look, how old are you, young man? How old are you? You sound kind of young. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Yeah, that's kind of young, bro. Where you from? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm from California,
What part of California you from?
Northern California.
Northern California. Okay. And okay, that's cool. And are you FBA?
Well, to be
Yes or
perfectly
no,
honest,
man. Either you are or you're not. And if you're not, what is your heritage and lineage?
well, I'm not FBA. I'm a black man, but I don't consider myself FBA because
Okay.
I don't want to be a part of
Where
that.
your
I don't
parents
want to be.
from, man? Where your mom and your daddy from? If you don't mind me asking.
They were born here.
What about your grandfather and grandmother on both sides?
They were born here.
So you're FBA, whether you want to admit it, whether you identify by it or not out your mouth, you are FBA. Literally by the definition of the term, you're a foundational and your people are foundational. Black America, you can trace your family 4, 5, 6 generations back to right here. That makes you an FBA, whether you want to identify it or say it out your mouth or not. It is. That's what you is, brother. Be proud of that. There's nothing wrong with being FBA. Just like there's nothing wrong with being Latino, right? What's wrong is when you're a Latino and you have fell victim to the indoctrination without doing your proper investigation, which is the height of ignorance. Same for us FBAs, right?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I honestly don't deal with ignorant people. Like it doesn't matter what race they are. I just don't deal with ignorant people. I mean, as far as the majority goes, I mean, yes, I understand where you're coming from, but like that's why I say earlier, like separate. I wasn't saying that like in a negative way. Like I was just like saying separate. Just don't deal with them.
And that's what we're doing. We're doing that with everybody though. But see, as we're doing that, even amongst us, people can't figure it out because they're just not used to us being on one accord with each other, even amongst ourselves, right? So when it comes to this process of delineation, which has to be done on a wide scale like it is, we have to be on code with each other because other groups of people are on code with each other, like these Latinos. They're on code with this. The majority of the Latino people or people who identify as such, they have this mindset, this mind frame that is fully immersed and submerged in this anti-Black racist ideology, post-colonial. And to deny that is just crazy. And the fact that the people don't talk about it, these Latinos, they don't even talk about this. You got a few that I've shown, few in between that have the courage, like I said, have the testicular and ovarian fortitude to say it publicly. Most of them don't speak on it. And the reason why they don't is because they know it's true. And they are the ones who participate in the practice of the anti-Black racism. And they've been allowed to infiltrate our political infrastructure. And it's all being done for a reason, right? So, we're not being negative. We're not being, or we are being very separative. And like I said, because in order to build, you have to destroy. And that's what we're doing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because we know we ain't got to be disrespectful with it or nothing. We're not being separatists in the mind frame of like, from a negative aspect. In order for us to reestablish or build anything amongst us, we have to come to the realization that the only people we got is us. So why not focus on bettering things between us? Don't that make sense? Do you think that not? Let me ask you a question, young brother. Don't you think that makes sense?
Well, to be perfectly honest, yes, it does make sense. And it did make sense because, yes, Black people can come together because Black people choose not to come together as a whole, especially when they have 9.8 trillion spending power. Yes, Black people can come together. They just, as a collective, as a whole, they just choose not to come together,
Right.
especially when they have 1.98 trillion spending power.
So you can understand with that amount of spending power, you can understand why the systems and structures that are in place are designed to keep us separated from each other. And now we've reached a point in time and in history where FBAs, we are identifying ourselves, because if we don't identify ourselves, they can continue to scam. They can continue to tell us we don't deserve no reparation. They can continue to bring illegals in and give them the benefits that our forefathers fought for, that we should be getting, that's coming out of our pocket.
Respectfully, you guys are not getting any reparations. That's not
listen,
gonna happen.
and let me say, listen, I'm gonna agree with you. Listen, I'm gonna agree with you to an extent on this, right? Right? There's no way the people, the Khazarians, you so-called Jews who you talked about, right? You think these people are going to just give up power like that? Do you understand what it would mean to give us our reparations? Do you think these people are just going to give it to us? Because see, unlike the Latinos, unlike the Japanese, unlike the so-called natives, unlike other groups of people who have gotten their reparations, we ain't sold our people. We ain't going to sell our people out all the way to these people. That's the reason why they ain't going to give it to us. Because they know if they give us the money that they actually do owe us, proving that they owe us, we're going to take this stuff over. And they ain't having that. No way in hell are they going to allow that to happen. with our current $2+ trillion spending power, coupled with what these Khazarian demons owe down, we would be ruling the world on some straight Wakanda stuff. That's why we ain't gonna get no reparations. But that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna keep advocating for it, because listen, anything's possible. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say about reparations. I agree with you, bro. I know for a fact these people are not gonna just give us reparations. If anything, we're gonna have to take it.
And another thing too, I have a problem too. I have a problem with Red Supreme too, is that like he constantly blames white people for everything. And white people were slaves. Yes, they were. Like white people were the first ones to slaves out of everybody.
What, in
That's a
America?
fact, and that's yes, in America.
Listen here. Listen, I said this earlier, young brother. Right, this is what I said earlier. White folks were slaves, but they weren't chattel slaves. You understand the difference? You understand the difference between indentured servitude, slavery, employment versus chattel slavery?
I may not understand that, but the problem.
Let me stop you right there, young brother. Let me stop you right there, right? I'm gonna suggest you do some research on the difference between the two before you speak on this, because you're always going to be speaking in the vernacular of not knowing what you're talking about. Right? You have to know the difference between the two. Yes, white folks, along with most of us black folks, FBAs, indigenous black people in America, most of us were slaves, employees of the corporation. Yes, we were. How you think we came out of slavery with owning land and stuff like that? You think the Khazarian demon, real live slave owners who own chattel, so you think they shared their profits with their slaves after their freedom? You stupid if you believe that. Not everybody was chattel slaves. Only the Africans who were brought over here were chattel slaves, and some native blacks were made to be chattel slaves, the ones that integrated with the black African slaves. That's why I say y'all gotta do y'all's research, man. Right? So yes, they weren't slaves in the sense of being chattel slaves. They were slaves, Slavs, employees. Slav is a Slavic word for employee, which is why they came up with the term indentured service or indentured servitude. They were paid for what they were doing. Most of them were employees of the corporation of the United States for America, not of America, because it's a difference.
I do my research, and
you need to do some more, young brother. I'm telling you, as a person who's older than you, a lot more experience and knowledge than you, you got some more learning to do, brother. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's all good. That's all good. And then too, that there were black slave owners as well.
I mean, there were a few, but I mean, it's so insignificant that it's not even worth mentioning. It wasn't a lot, wasn't a majority, wasn't a whole bunch. And listen here, the black folks that actually did own slaves or were slave masters, guess who they worked for? So we're always going to have a few that's going to be with the BS, just like to this day, we got organizations like LULAC. In their origins, they wanted nothing to do with being black, being associated with us. They wanted to be like the white guys. You're going to have that, bruh. You're gonna have your Benedict Arnolds. You're gonna have your traitors, your naysayers, your agent provocateurs and rabble rousers. That's gonna happen. The overwhelmingly mass majority of us, though, How do you think Black Wall Street got started? You think that the Khazarian demons who mostly ran the slave trade, the chattel slave trade in America, not white people, right? You think they just decided to give ex-slave niggers they goddamn cut? Come on, man. Nah, it didn't work like that, man. Everybody wasn't a slave, clearly. Not a chattel slave, anyway. Indentured servitudes and indentured servants, they were employees. They weren't considered slaves. They weren't property. Chattel slaves were actual property. All right. So that's what I suggest what you do, young bro. I suggest you do some more research. Tap in with your big bro over here, man. I'll get you together because that's what I do over here.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with you. You don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure you do talk about white supremacy, but you don't talk about white supremacy as much heavily as like your boy Red Supreme and Phil Scott. Like
I
they
mean,
talk about Red Supreme real
I mean,
heavy.
but rightfully so, though, right? Like I say, I'm all an advocate for letting these people know every day, all day about their history. I just do it in the way that I do it, right? I don't focus specifically on white supremacy. I know about the structure behind the white supremacy, and that's why I say us as FBAs, we got to tap in with each other, no matter if we have big platforms or not, because there's always more to learn, and it's bigger than just white people, right?
I mean, yes, that's a fact. It is bigger than white people,
Yeah.
but what your boy Red Supreme has to understand is like crying about it and talking about it every day is not going to solve everything.
Well, he's not necessarily crying about it versus shining a light on it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with constantly reminding these people of their history. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Every single day, all day. I advocate for that. It's just the difference is I do it the way I do it. Red do it the way he do it. Tariq do it the way he do it. Jap do it the way he do it. And whoever else do it the way they do it. And no, don't stop talking. Keep talking about it. Every single day, right? They ain't letting up on us. They ain't letting up on the things they got pointed towards us as a group, a collective. They ain't letting up on, discrediting us FBA. So why would we let up on talking about them? That's crazy. And a lot of y'all young brothers need to get that type of mentality out y'all's head, because that's how they use y'all, inadvertently known to y'all, to go against the grain. And y'all should be riding 100% for this FBA thing. They don't care about y'all. They don't care about us. We don't got no allies. All we got is us. Ain't no need for us to be disparaging each other and trying to siphon ourselves off. We need to stop that, man. And it start with y'all young brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all young brothers need to be quiet and listen and soak up some game. And don't be with this mind frame. I would encourage y'all to not have this mind frame of, well, that's all you talking about, the little dad. And nah, man, it's a reason we got the right to talk about the stuff we talk about in the way that we do. Look what has been done to us. And it's not a victimhood mentality. It's more of a manhood thing, speaking up for what's done and what we're going to allow to continue to happen. Because what's the alternative, high-end 1122, being quiet, not saying nothing?
I'm not telling you to be quiet.
I know I'm not. I'm asking you a question, though. What's the alternative then?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, you can do what you want to do. I mean,
what's the alternative, young brother?
You could choose to speak on it if you want.
I'm asking you, from your perspective, your state of mind. You a man, ain't you?
Yeah.
What you think? What's something that can be done? What needs to happen? Right? Y'all the future, right?
I believe what needs to happen is unity.
And that's what's happening right now. In order to build, we got to destroy, though, young brother. Do you understand that concept?
Of course I do.
It don't sound like you do. It sound like you heard of it, but it don't sound like you understand it. We got to build to destroy, man. It's some of us who ain't gonna make it. It's some of us who have adapted and adopted the reprobate mind. Are you aware of what the reprobate mind is? You familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of us are lost causes, and we have to accept that. But there's a large portion of us who are not, right? So it's up for y'all young brothers to sit up here and soak up game and see the big picture and focus on not finding fault or folly in what some of us are saying, and understand why we're saying it, why it's important to keep constantly saying it. And out of these conversations come fruition, acts of fruition, right? Because behind the scenes, whether y'all know it or not, people is linking up across the country, making things happen on a local grassroots level. And regardless of what y'all may say or feel about our brother Tariq, he's one of the people that's actually putting feet on concrete. Now, whether y'all know it about it or not is irrelevant. Do your due diligence. And that's why I suggest, especially y'all young brothers, man, to do y'all's research, man. And when you think, don't ever get to a point. Listen, I'm gonna give you some game real quick. Don't ever get to a point to where you feel like you found out enough stuff you didn't know before that it ain't nothing else to find out. Or what you found out is what it is, especially concerning other men, based off of their internet persona.
Yeah, I believe that. But at the same time, at the same token, I honestly don't like Tyreek Nasheed.
Why? Because let me stop you, young brother. And this is what I want y'all young brothers to encourage. This is how I know a lot of y'all need some steps in manhood, lessons in manhood. How could you, let me ask you a question, High End 1122. How can you not like a man whom you do not know? Now let me clear this up. Now you say you don't like his talking points, you don't like the things he says, you don't like his mind frame or his ideology. I can understand you say you don't like that. When you say you don't like him as the person or man he is, I don't understand why other guys say that about other men they don't know. I just want to know that.
Well,
and let me correct you though. Do you happen to know Tariq personally?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't like him personally. Like the reason why I say I don't like him is that I don't like his talking points.
Okay, that's okay.
That's what I meant by said not liking him. But I'm not gonna just like I'm not gonna just not like somebody who I don't even know.
Right.
That's not me.
Right. Well, that's fine, young brother. You don't have to like the brother's talking points. That's perfectly okay. My thing is, if you don't like his talking points, how are you going to challenge what he says? If you don't like somebody's talking points, that means that you don't believe in them or agree with them, and you have an alternative to what they're saying. Basically, saying what they're saying is not true or right or exact. So, clearly, it has to be a counter for that. So, what's your counter?
What's my counter is that I believe he's pushing an agenda.
Of course he is. Aren't we all at some point? I'm definitely pushing the agenda. I'm just open about it. It's not a covert agenda. It's completely overt. I ain't hiding nothing. And I don't think our brother Tariq is either. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
And this is what I'm gonna say to you, High End 1122. That's fine, but look, what proof do we have? And I'm gonna do a show on this. I've been meaning to do a show on this too. What proof or evidence that you have of the brother doing anything contrary to what he says he's doing or is actually doing? Because I've actually been to the rally for reparations. I was there. I've met with old girl. What's her name? The one black sister that talked. I met with Boyce Watkins. I've seen a whole bunch of Hebrew Israelite brother up there. Seen some other content creators who was up there. It's a beautiful thing, man. I've actually been to a Tariq event, right? But the brother is actually doing stuff in the community. So, you know what I mean? It behooves me why our people that have the disdain towards the brother do without like evidence or with like reason. Rational reason at that. Well, I mean, if you don't, like I said, if you don't like the brother's talking points, that's okay. My thing is, how are you going to refute what he's saying? As if because that would be like you don't agree with it. So it's one thing to not agree with somebody, but if you're not going to agree, you have to have a counter for why you don't agree. You know, to just agree for just not liking somebody, you know, that's what I'm saying. That get into that shit what women do arena right there, and that's not how us men operate. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't like a person's talking points for whatever reason you don't, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know.
Let me ask you a question. What do you What do you think of Anton Daniels?
Anton Daniels, in my opinion, is a sucker.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
You can't ask him. Okay, he is. He's a sucker for the simple fact he stood up there and had a whole conversation with a known booty warrior who sex played him in front of everybody. He a sucker.
That I don't agree with. That I don't agree with.
And let me tell you something, High in 1122, being the young brother that you are, and probably never been to prison before. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, it does. It makes him a sucker just for that. He a sucker
Yeah,
just for that. Yes, he is.
that I don't agree with.
Listen here. The high collective of us men have deemed so. So it is so. And guess what? High in 1122, the collective of us real ones, we outrank you. So your opinion on whether he's not or not, that's your opinion, will show some flawness in your manhood bringing up, right? It's very unmanly to have such a conversation. And yes, that conversation alone, outside of anything else I could use to prove this dude a sucker, that alone proves he's a sucker.
Yeah, that conversation with the Fleece Johnson guy, that I don't agree with.
That conversation, amongst other things this guy has done, proved he was a sucker. So why should we listen to anything outside of that? You can't trust a man who allow another man to sex play him in public. You would never be able to do anything prosperous as far as with our people with guys like that. Them was the type of guys that Malcolm and them warned us about. Right?
Yeah. And I also got another.
We got my brother Red in the audience right now. Right? So I'm just saying though, y'all, man, listen, man, young brother, you more than welcome to come up and tap in with me. But I would encourage y'all young brothers to, for one, actually do y'all's due diligence. It's always more to know, right? I would encourage y'all to get with older seasoned guys like myself who actually been through things in life versus these corny ass internet niggas who ain't been through shit, right? I would encourage y'all to, have more camaraderie amongst the people who you would be made to look at in a different light due to whatever reasons, be it popularity, suggested ill things in their personal lives offline. That's what I would suggest, right? You know, because a lot of y'all, I can tell a lot of y'all young brothers coming up, y'all ain't got no real live masculine manhood influences in y'all's lives. Y'all lacking in a lot of areas of manhood and masculinity, and I can tell that.
But do you think I'm a bad person?
Say what?
Do you think I'm a bad person?
No, I don't know enough about you to say you're a bad person, but I can tell from my level of discernment that you're a young brother who has been ill-informed on a lot of things, and you haven't had some real masculine roles in your life to show you about manhood. I can tell that. I can definitely tell that through the airwaves. You want to know how I can tell that? High in 1122, because I've actually been raised around that. And it's so blatantly obvious right now on the internet, even without seeing a picture of you, just hearing your voice and hearing your talk, I can tell.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I was raised by a single mother, but at the same time, it's not my fault either.
Yes, it's not your fault, but you know what? Being 33, though, young brother, it's your responsibility to put yourself up on game on things of being a man and realizing how you've been indoctrinated, how you fallen victim to the very system that these so-called Latinos, under the guise of being white, have contributed to being part of while not integrating with us or associating with us whatsoever. Have you ever heard of the Repatriation Act?
Yes, I have.
Right. So, when I talk about stuff like this, it's just to remind the Latinos that while y'all been trying to style on us, they're subject to style on y'all at any given moment. So it would be in y'all's best interest to camaraderie with us, but y'all have been tricked into going against us. And y'all got to understand where it comes from, where the roots of it stem from, right? And in order to move forward, if at all, collectively together, we got to be honest about where this anti-Black racist ideology stems from and the existence currently now thereof. Right?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, or would you not agree with that?
I agree with it, like to a degree, but at the same time, in the same talking, like that, if the majority of them act like that and have that mindset, that's on them.
Yeah. It's on them, and it's on us to realize that, admit that, be cool with that, and not interact or engage with them. Totally delineate from everybody and focus on us. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, it would.
That's only going to be better for our community. That way, we can start focusing on all these young brothers who've been raised by their mamas, and we can focus on teaching them the things of manhood and masculinity. So a lot of y'all don't continue to have these very feminine mindsets that a lot of y'all got in the way y'all perceive things. Right? I appreciate you coming on and being honest, man, for real, because you know what I'm saying? Everything starts with a conversation. If we're not going to be honest, it's pointless. Right? And I would encourage y'all young brothers to, when y'all come up on our platforms, to listen with an open ear and an open mind. Try to remove your feelings. Try to remove if you like somebody or not, especially when it comes to somebody who you don't know. And versus not liking what they're saying, do your research on what they're saying. See if what they say stands up to the test of time and the facts and stats and actual historical proof of what they're saying. If it don't add up, it don't add up. If it don't count, you can't count it, don't count, and all of that. This is why I say I encourage y'all to constantly do y'all's research and due diligence. There's always more to know, right? And the more you know, the more you're going to find out how much you don't know, right?
And I'm gonna say this too before I let you go. Yeah. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, yeah, I was raised around women, like I was raised around, like, I was raised by a single mother and may have been around, like, I mean, I've been around a few male figures, but I'm more balanced. Like I don't see myself as an educated lame or a pookie. Like I'm more balanced. Like I'm not feminine either. I would see myself like as more balanced.
You said you're not feminine. What makes you say that?
I mean, what you just said, like, what you just
Listen
said,
to
like,
what I'm saying, young brother. Understand what I'm saying, and this is what I mean, right? I don't mean that you feminine, like you're a fun boy or anything, but you got to understand in which ways that y'all young brothers are feminine in y'all's mindset, the way y'all perceive things, the way y'all think about things. I want y'all to understand it's as a result of being raised with women who have, to some degree, have been indoctrinated with this feminine mindset. You know what I'm saying? I want you to better understand in what ways you are feminine versus thinking that you're feminine. You understand what I'm saying by that?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So you know what I mean? I want y'all brothers to understand in what ways y'all have been. Sure, I even go in further. In what ways have y'all been psychologically feminized, right? To innately go against anything of masculinity. I want y'all to understand how that's been imposed upon y'all, right? And take that and interacting with us older brothers and have some humility about yourself and understand that the only way you're going to learn the things of manhood is listening to other men. And understand and accept that when you're dealing specifically with guys who are older than you, they're probably more intelligent than you and know more than you. So you should probably listen to what they're saying, especially when when you listen to somebody and you know they ain't saying some bullshit. They might be saying something you might not necessarily agree with, or due to something you've been read or heard, you might challenge that. But innately, you know that this person is probably saying something that more than likely is going to be beneficial or has some merit to it.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
All right. You know, because a brother like me, I'm here to innovate and elevate. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to put, especially my young FBA brethren, up on game about everything, specifically and especially manhood and masculinity. Right? Because everything, no matter what you do in life, if you're going to pursue a lifetime of advocating for your thoughts and your opinions on things, you got to be a man first.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Would you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%.
All right, so go ahead, land your plane, young brother, man. You know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome to come on the platform anytime you want to, man. You know, I'll be going live all the time talking about all type of crazy stuff, man.
Well, that's it for me. I'm not going to keep you.
Okay, that's cool, man. Listen, like I said, young brother, listen here, man. Question everything, especially what you hear from me, man. Do your due diligence, man. I would encourage young brothers like yourself who grew up mostly around women and haven't had real manhood, masculine influences in your life, I would suggest y'all get around some older player partners who have been around the block, you know what I'm talking about, and use your discernment to the extent you have it to understand when you're dealing with a real one who can put you up on game and you're dealing with a goofy, right? And that's a part of manhood too, being able to tell the difference between, oh, this is a guy who I can listen to and get some game from, and this is a goofy who I shouldn't even be listening to about anything. Like Anton Daniels.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to things of business and portfolio building and how to use the advantages in the government to best benefit your business. If you're going to do that, then yeah, you listen to Anton on that. But things dealing with bras, things of manhood, masculinity, no. Don't listen to no nigga like that. How you going to listen to a guy talk to you about being a man and he let another man sex play him on national goddamn TV, basically? And whether you young dudes don't understand or think that's disrespectful or that's, man, listen here, this is how we know it's a problem amongst us as far as manhood and masculinity go, to where that could ever be looked at as something that's okay. I pray that none of y'all young brothers ever live a life of criminality and go to the joint, because you're going to find out real quick that being sex played is very bad and very not good. Right? Never met a man sex play you, ever. You check that shit at the door. Now, if it need to get physical, then handle it how you need to. But never let a man sex play, ever. Right? That's some shit I'll be willing to go back to jail for. Right? I'll slap the shit out somebody trying to sex play me. And the fact that Anton didn't do that, let you know he a sucker. And you can't believe anything he say outside of financial advice. Right? So I'm gonna leave you with that, young brother. You have a good evening, man. Thanks for coming up, man. I appreciate your commentary, man. You're welcome to come back anytime, man.
Yep, you too.
All right, young brother. And see, that's what it's all about, y'all, man. You know, talking to the young brothers and putting them up on game, man. We was all there once, man, when we found out some information and we thought we just knew it, and now that we couldn't wait to say something about it just to find out that what we thought we knew was some bullshit. Or not the whole truth. Latinos, listen here, man. Ain't no love lost, man. There's never really been any, right? We just shining light on what has already been, to shame and try to ridicule us into somehow going along with helping y'all when y'all basically historically didn't want nothing to do with us is crazy, right? The fact that y'all won't pay homage to us and it just be honest and say that y'all we created hip hop and we didn't help y'all want to somehow tether yourselves to them days is over with, man. Right? And to those amongst us who ain't on code and don't want to get on board and feel some type of way, hey man, blessings to you, man. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you see the light and realize that we don't have any allies. We absolutely don't have any allies, y'all. Nobody's helping us. It's going to be up to us to help us. And of course, the Most High. And when we fix ourselves and what we got going on, then that's when we can start to be open to possibly linking up with other groups who've been working on them, and we can work together like how we should have been in the beginning. Right? But until then, man, we need to focus on FBA business and FBA business only, man. I've always advocated for that. I've always been on this way before FBA became a known term. You know, all mad love to everybody, man. Listen, man, I want y'all to understand. I speak for myself more importantly, but I would like to say to an extent, I speak for my other real brethren as well, too. Listen, we don't hate none of y'all. Even with all the BS through history, we don't hate y'all, right? We just love ourselves more, which means we're going to focus on us. Yeah, that's what I just told the little homie though, Red. Like, man, you can't respect no man who let another man sex play him, man. You will never get respect amongst the collective of real men. We will never, because we ain't gonna let nobody sex play us. Y'all been so feminized. This is why I just was saying to the young brother, y'all don't even realize in what ways Y'all have been feminized. Y'all been so feminized psychologically that y'all don't even realize that y'all think that allowing another man to get sex, seeing another man get sex played live on TV is that don't make him a sucker. Right? When that's the very thing, that's the epitome of being a sucker. Huh? Right? You don't let no man sex play you, man. How you gonna call yourself a man after another man to sit up there and say that he think you got a nice booty and a nice body? Pause. See, and I'm not saying that he's a sucker for having a conversation with Fleece. He's a sucker for letting the conversation go that route with Fleece. Because listen here, if I was ever going to interview a Fleece Johnson, that would not be the topic of our discussion. It would never even be brought up. Fleece would already know from being in my physical presence that I ain't going. I ain't like that. Fleece was getting the stuff off in the joint on niggas like Anton. Fun boy ass in the closet ass niggas. Listen here, Fleece wasn't getting that off on no real ones. Right? That would not have been the topic of discussion had I interviewed Fleece Johnson. We would not have been talking about that. And as soon as it even looked or even felt like it was leaning that way, I would have checked that shit at the door. Matter of fact, me and Fleece would have had a very great conversation beforehand. So the very fact that Anton allowed that conversation to transpire lets me know he was with that, which possibly means he might be LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. I would never have respect for no dude who let another dude sex play him and laughed and giggled like a little schoolgirl. You would never get respect amongst us real ones. And the fact that y'all support stuff like that, y'all support guys like that, that lets you know what's wrong with manhood amongst our FBA ranks. A lot of y'all got that same mentality. A lot of y'all dudes think that Anton didn't get sex play. A lot of y'all thought that was funny. A lot of y'all be cool with another man telling you got a nice booty. Another dude wouldn't dare say that to me. Wouldn't dare say that to me. I don't give off the energy like that would be okay to say to me. Right? So that's why I say a lot of y'all young brothers, man, y'all need some lessons on manhood and masculinity, man. Go tap in with my brother, Sir Ism, man. I'm about to start doing shows on that too, man, because y'all, man, I'm about to start doing content on my experience when I was in the joint, because I'm telling y'all right now, man, if y'all was to go to prison with this mindset of it don't make you a sucker if you let a man sex play you, I pray to God that y'all never end up incarceration, man. Because that's going to be the end of your career. You shouldn't be doing it in real life out here either, though. You see what happened with guys who let guys sex play them. You see what happened with all these dudes involved with Diddy. Why would y'all ever think it's anything manly about allowing somebody to sex play you? Right? Next thing you know, you're going to be having niggas talking about some, yeah, man, but we didn't party, and you're going to be okay with that. Yes, Project Leroy, tell these little dudes, man, your reputation as a man is your status amongst us men. And if you think you're going to get along amongst men without being a man and think you're going to be successful for a period, extended amount of time, listen here, we're going to check that stuff because we ain't having that. Men determine what manhood is, and that's what us FBAs is all about, us real ones anyway. We standing on straight business. All effery will be exposed. We're going to keep constantly talking about YT supremacy. We're going to keep talking about Latino tetherism, African tetherism, Caribbean tetherism, all of that. We not stopping. And yes, we are carbon copies of each other, because that's how y'all look at us anyway. Y'all don't look at us separate or individual. Y'all don't separate me, Red, Tariq, Jack, rest in the essence, Sinful, rest in the essence, Kevin. Y'all don't separate Mr. O. Y'all look at all of us as the same. So we ain't got no problem with being carbon copies of each other. As long as we on code with each other, that's all that matters. Right? And we're going to get up out of here on that note, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. I appreciate everybody coming out today. I appreciate everybody showing their contributions. My brother Project Leroy, you know what I'm saying? Lotus Ty came through, show some love. My brother Red come through like he do every now and again. And everybody else, man. Show support to your real ones up here doing this content, man. Real ones. We showing our face. We got skin in the game. Right? We ain't hiding behind avatars, faceless avatars. You know, we ain't sitting up here throwing our rocks and hiding our hands, rabble rousing and being agent provocateurs. You know, shouts out to everybody in the chat, man. Merry Christmas to everybody. You know, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I know the rest of y'all do. Enjoy this time with your family. You know what I'm saying? Eat, drink, be merry. All praises be to the Most High God, Yeshua Mashiach. I want everybody to be safe tonight. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all sit up there and enjoy tomorrow with y'all families. Eat some good food. And tomorrow, I'm thinking about doing a show tomorrow. You know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, you know, tap in, walk with us. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my Brethren Red Supreme TV 1, or should I say King Supreme TV. Go subscribe to King Supreme TV right now if you haven't already. And tap in and walk with us, man. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate all the support, all the love. We need to have channels like mine grow exponentially. Subscribe, like, share, comment, share on your social engineering. You need. You know what I'm saying? Putting in that work, grinding. You know, got lots of things going on behind the scenes. 2026 is going to be a beautiful year. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get up to 10,000 subs, 20,000 subs, on to a milli. We're going to get my brother Reggie, my Brethren Red Supreme up to 100,000 this year, 50,000, 100,000. You did. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. I'm going to leave y'all with some E&E. Make our own music and everything, like
anywhere in the world. That's not necessary.
Put Christian in.
Enjoy y'all Christmas with y'all family, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. I'm gonna be back with some more content. You know?
And your hat.
Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on all of our black kings. All black everything, we got black tea. All black coffee, man, I don't add green. North give you all you need, no more caffeine. Close down the whole set, no more casting. Remove targets off our back like a black team. We keep growing up the game like a black team. Your girl got a problem with me, then get at me. I'm tired to a bumper, now you got a drag queen. You can't stop me, you old as jalopy. This is past me, and I got it photocopied. Call them on film, flow tracks and sloppy. Trying to attack me, you a carbon copy. Raw seat the heat like 10 mini blocks, and I charge for a hook. Put me in a penalty box. Man, I'm killing the ops while I look at my watch. All hands on deck like the time on the clock. Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, Yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black
Keep my
kings.
grass cut low to catch a glimpse of the snakes. Devilish serpents with purpose to steal your cake. Smiling in your face while they got their eyes on your safe. Yeah. Boy, that hatred, man, they make you do some foul things. Switch up on your niggas like the numbers when the Dow change. When I'm worth a million, still a grind like a broke. Take it for granted, should be gone in the proof of smoke. Better put your plan in action, niggas get to use the whole. Formulated the plan, calculated the steps. 2020, my vision, see my way to the check. Get it. Only way is up, I made my way to the steps. Let's go. Look, only way to move is building kingdom shit. Niggas won't make a move, want you to bring them shit. But God bless the child that can hold his own. They want to give you numbers in a cell like a mobile phone. But fuck a cop any wicked, you this was just fuck. Cause niggas on the edge, there for you to push. Bullets loaded tight up in that magazine. Bring a nightmare to American dreams.
Black force, black force, we the tag team. It's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black kings.